Well, hello and good evening to everybody. Excuse me. Well, I just started off there wrong, didn't I? Um, I kind of missed you guys, man. I want to do a live stream. I got a couple things on my mind I want to talk about. I'm not sure if anybody's going to join us tonight. I know I actually forgot that it was Tuesday and the Sovereign's over there, and he's doing his tinfoil hat Tuesday. I totally forgot about it. But I want to share a couple things with you I thought was kind of neat. And hopefully we can open up some discussion, a few things that kind of got on my mind. So let's see who we got in the chat so far. Looks like you got Baby Doll Ironton and Good Old Boy and Dark watching here with us that I can see. And then which is kind of loading up slow, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Let me see here. I don't know what's going on with it. Well, anyway, so I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and happy holidays to everybody. And of course, we got New Year's coming up, so we're going to talk a little bit about that too. We're going to talk a little bit about maybe some New Year's resolutions and stuff, and maybe some ideas that we're going to have for the upcoming year, and hopefully, maybe able to kind of get you guys to chime in on that and let me know what everybody's kind of got set for themselves, what kind of ideas you have for the upcoming year. So, effing lawyer, how are you, sir? So, man, I've been dealing with this crap, and I don't know what's going on, but like probably the past like 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know what's up. Hey, Danny. But I've been kind of I don't know, kind of like shortness of breath type thing and stuff. And I kind of thought for a while it was like, I don't know, just like maybe seasonal type crap or crud of some sort, but it's kind of like, it's really kind of kicking my butt lately. So let's just hope it doesn't last for long. So, but we'll see how that goes. Right. So, but I just got off work, and that's kind of why I had to do this so late. I work through the week. So, with the holidays and stuff, haven't had a whole lot of time to get on here and hang out with you guys much. And that's kind of the reason that I wanted to do this live stream tonight, was kind of touch base with everybody and let everybody know that life just kind of got hectic, and life gets daily, so to speak. Terry needs rescued. I don't even want to know, guys. I don't want to know. They have a good time over there. So, yeah. But hey, Tina, how are you, dear? So anyway, I haven't been following much with the to be honest, I haven't really been following much on YouTube lately. I've been kind of 1300. What's up, man? So I've been kind of slacking a little bit, with everything going on, kind of dragging my feet and not really making a whole lot of time for making content or something. So that's kind of where we're at. But the reason that actually Tom Hall sent me something that I wanted to share with you guys tonight, and I thought it was kind of neat. And we'll get into that in just a minute. I'll show a video for you guys. A lot of times, and it's not just it's not just like the auditor, frauditor type, whatever community that is kind of down in police, but a lot of times, there's a lot of people in general in the public that don't really have an understanding for what we do. So I want to talk about that a little bit, kind of more in depth. And then I want to show a video kind of to understand a little bit of why we maybe do what we do, if that makes sense. So first of all, for anybody who doesn't know who I am, I'm a captain with the City of Ironton Police Department, and I've been there for 3,000 years or something. I don't really know. What was it? Now, I have had, I've had, let's just say I've been in it 15, 16 years, and I've had the opportunity to be able to see a lot of different things in this profession. So because of that, it's kind of allowed me to be able to kind of draw an opinion on a lot of things, based on experience, and not just, kind of armchair quarterbacking, but actually knowing kind of what really does kind of take place behind the scenes, if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyway, I remember when I got in this business, and just to kind of give you guys a little bit of that background, I never really wanted to be a police officer. Maybe when I was a little kid, I kind of had the interest a little bit. to be a police officer, but it was never something that I was thrilled to do. It wasn't something that I was like, it's, well, I got to do when I get older. And I decided to go through the academy and take this route, so to speak, in my life. At my early 20s, I decided that was something that I wanted to do, just because, to be honest, I seen the opportunity for a decent, clean job that I could have a decent retirement, and something that that I might be able to get into, So, hey, Fubar. So, you know, I guess that's kind of one of those things that I never really did realize that I wanted to do it, but it just looked. I would guess I was appealed to it for a whole different reason. So, I was never super excited about the thin blue line type stuff or whatever that which that kind of came later, but that was never really my thing. So I got into it for a little bit different stuff. So anyway, so when I finally did, I went to the academy, and I came out of the academy and I went to work for the sheriff's office. And I was there for over a year. I think maybe close to like 16 months or something like that. I don't remember. Wasn't a whole long time. It just really wasn't my thing. I was assigned to the jail most of the time. So because I was assigned to the jail most of the time, I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to be on the road, which is kind of what I really wanted to do more than anything. And because I didn't really have that opportunity, I kind of got bored with it real fast. So I went ahead and I went elsewhere, and I worked for a couple of smaller village departments, for a little while there. And I finally took the Civil Service Commission test at the city of Ironton, and I ultimately got hired. I began my service there in 2008 as a patrolman, and I worked as a patrolman for a few years. And I was most of the time I was on evening shift, which is kind of where I'm at now too. But I was on evening shift for a while. I worked midnights. I worked, all three shifts. So I kind of got to see a little bit of everything. So I went through some tactical training, different tactical schools and training classes and stuff. And ultimately I was assigned to the special response team as a dynamic entry. And I was an instructor of dynamic ballistic and mechanical entries as a breacher. So I done that for a little while, worked with the SRT. And then later on, I ended up going to the detective's office, where I worked in the detective's office for a couple of years, working major crimes cases and stuff, and doing all the follow-up stuff. And it was a big culture shock for me to go from being, working evenings and midnights and running hard to calls, and, kind of, elbow deep into it with that, and, doing the warrant stuff with the SRT or whatever it was, the different things we'd be doing. And I guess I just decided that after a while, that, why not? I'll go to the detective's office when they offered it to me. And then I got in there and I'm going, what is this? It was like super boring for a while, but then it really got hectic and really crazy. And I worked a little bit of drugs and stuff. And I kind of been around, and I've done a little bit of everything. And I'm going a long way around sharing all this with you guys, because I'm just, I'm kind of trying to explain why I've drawn the conclusions that I have. So, but anyway, so after that, I came out of the detective's office and I tested for the rank of sergeant. I was eligible to test for sergeant, and I was promoted to sergeant. And I was only sergeant for about a year or so, I think. And there was a vacancy come open at the rank of captain. So I was able to test for the rank of captain, and ultimately I got promoted to the rank of captain. And since then, I have been the shift commander on evening shift at the rank of captain since I was promoted. So I've had the opportunity to do, a little bit of stuff and kind of see a little bit of stuff. And I've kind of been involved in everything that you can think of, from the bigger stuff to the smaller stuff and everything in between. So it's not that, I'm I guess, super expert at anything, but I guess I've kind of been there and done a little bit of everything when it comes to this job. So, um, but in the way things work is, and to give you guys a little bit of an understanding, and I'm going just the complete deep way around doing this to kind of hopefully, maybe fill in some blanks, some questions if there is any on stuff. But in the state of Ohio, um, you have the county elected sheriff. He's elected in all 88 counties, and the Ohio Revised Code defines him as the chief law enforcement officer of his county. He is the chief conservator of the peace, and his job is to maintain and preserve public peace. And he's obviously within his duties, he's responsible for a lot of stuff, but and nevertheless, he's the chief law enforcement officer of the county. So, anyway, so that being said, and then he has his deputies, and obviously he has his jailers and all this stuff. And in a lot of cases, he actually is over the 911 centers and the dispatch centers and stuff like that. So he's got a lot of responsibility, and he's the elected peace officer, in the state of Ohio. So he's obviously given a lot of responsibility because he's elected by the people to do so. So, Dr. Nimrod, no, I have never shot anyone, and thank God. I don't ever want to hurt anybody. I've been really close a few times, and I thought I was going to have to. It's always something that you kind of have to prepare for mentally, and I've talked a little bit about Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, and he talks about the bulletproof mind and about prepare yourself for something so terrible. And something that you just kind of have to do. So, but anyway, so, other than the county sheriff, excuse me, other than the county sheriff, you have municipal police officers, which is what I am. When we work municipal boundaries. And then you also have, there's township police, and there's like university police, and there's different agencies within different entities and such. And then you have the highway patrol. Now, the highway patrol, we do not have a state police per se in the state of Ohio. We have a highway patrol, and the highway patrol is given the responsibility of public safety. As a matter of fact, they're not even defined as peace officers. Their job is actually to maintain public safety on public roadways. He is the troopers are responsible for obviously running speed and doing that type of stuff on all the public roadways and stuff. And it's kind of the way the system works is the sheriff obviously is responsible for the county, responsible for everybody. And then you've got the police departments that are responsible for the municipal or the incorporated areas within the county. And then you have the highway patrol that's responsible for the state properties or the public roadways and stuff within the county. So it kind of works pretty good, like the way the system's actually designed to work, when it actually does. And it's kind of one of those things where it's if it all fits together, it works the way it's supposed to. So, but that being said, there's a lot of times where, we're all shorthanded to do stuff or whatever. And that's just kind of one of those things that we all kind of, because of our county's kind of it's kind of rural and stuff, and there's a lot of times that we'll get sent out of the city to act on behalf of the sheriff, in like a mutual aid agreement type thing, and so on and so forth, and it just keeps on. So, and no, I have not ever attended one of Grossman's seminars. I have read some of his books and stuff, and he's really, really cool. But it's kind of neat. He's definitely he's definitely a very interesting author. So and I love reading his stuff. So yeah, a lot of DAs do carry badges, 1300. Technically, in Ohio, the district attorney, which we refer to them as prosecutors, are not actually peace officers. It's more of a, it's the peace officers are a whole separate thing. So the actual, like, they're more just in charge of the prosecution of the crimes, but they do have task force assigned to them. So it's a little bit different in there, because they can actually have, drug units and stuff. FUBAR, no, that is not true. Not in the state of Ohio. The State Patrol has no jurisdiction on anything except for state-owned and state-leased properties. They are not police officers. The county sheriff, yes, Tina, the county sheriff has the most jurisdiction, basically, of any peace officer, generally speaking, at least in the state of Ohio, by far, the elected sheriff. Now, his deputies are referred to as concurrent with us, meaning they're the same as us. But he's the elected high sheriff. He's over all of us. So yeah, that's a whole, as a matter of fact, he's over the highway patrol in his county too. So, I mean, he still takes command of any scene he's on. But, the reason that I'm saying all that, I'm just kind of giving my background a little bit so that I can kind of explain a little bit. The interesting thing about this job is it's kind of unlike anything I've ever done before. When I came out and done this job, yes, Rebecca, they have jurisdiction for all public roadways, which means they can stop cars on any public roadway or highway or anything within the state. But you're never going to call the police for any kind of an emergency, let your house or otherwise, and have a trooper show up to your house to take a theft report or deal with some kind of breach of the peace. That's not what they do. But anyway, yeah, Matt, there's some states that do. There's some states that the state police are the chief law, but in Ohio, it's not that way. As a matter of fact, in Ohio, in all 88 counties, every single sheriff's office has identical uniforms. They all have exactly matching uniforms, exactly matching cruisers and stuff, because it kind of works as a state policing agency. But they are very, 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 very different than any other state police agency, obviously. So, but anyway, so the reason that I say that is because when I got into this business, I kind of, I was like everybody else. I'd watch these, videos of cops or whatever, and I'd see the way these cops act, and I'm like, gee whiz, man. Jeez, dude, stop being a jerk, man. Why are you acting like such a dipshit? Why are you being a chicken shit? You're like, whatever the situation may be. So, and I kind of armchair quarterback police officers before I had any idea what police officers actually do, because I had no experience in it. Well, when I got into the academy, I was more interested in, be able to serve the community at the time, because I didn't go in the military and I regretted that. So, I seen the opportunity, maybe I can find a way to still, uphold and defend the Constitution, which you guys know I'm all about, the liberty that we have. So, but anyway, so because of that, when I got out and I got to experience a little bit, I remember thinking, this is nothing like I thought. Like, this is nothing like I had anticipated. I was completely wrong. I was thinking, this is not what I thought it was going to be like. So, and I found out a lot of the reasons why that you see the tactics that you do. And I've had people say, well, why does he do this? And why does he, when he walks up to my car, why does he stand back behind the window, and he's this way and he's that way and he's yada, yada. Well, there's a lot of reasons behind all that really have nothing to do with the guy's attitude. Believe it or not, it's not about his attitude. It's the reason he did it. When they go up and they make their approach on the traffic stop and they go up behind the window, it gives them the opportunity, if there's only a couple people in the car, that's his best opportunity to be able to make sure that he's safe and he's not going to get shot or ambushed by somebody. And if there's somebody maybe in the back seat, then you may see what they refer to as post ahead, which means he'll go up like by the mirror to where he can keep his eyes on everybody that way. So, Um, but anyway, so because of that, and it is a little bit different everywhere you look, whatever, so, everybody's kind of got their own tactics about stuff, right? But generally speaking, it's about the same. And going on domestics and stuff like that really kind of opened my eyes for the way that the tactics are kind of applied. There's a lot of stuff in, police work that, you say, wow, man, why do this and why do that? And why is he always so edgy? And, blah, blah, blah. Why is he always like, get your hands on your pockets or whatever, And a lot of the reason is because once you go through the trainings and experiences and stuff, and you realize just how much stuff really can't hurt you, and how fast it can happen, it's kind of crazy. Just like when I've done a breakdown video of the officer. I don't know which state it was in. It seems like it was out in California, but the back in the probably maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I don't know, but anyway, and these officers actually shot a guy with a knife for coming at them, and it's like, yeah, it's, why did he shoot you? He wasn't going to do this, he wasn't going to do that. It's kind of easier said than done type thing, because I can promise you that if you have as much time as you think you do, you could get away with that, but you don't. It's really, really fast. So, the state troopers said they have posts all over the state here too, 1300. They have posts probably in about every county, I would guess, but they just don't enforce actual criminal laws other than, maybe catching somebody with drugs or something, but that's about it. Yeah, Dark Watch, that's kind of common too. As a matter of fact, there's sometimes I've seen that let me see, what was it? It was another agency. I can't remember, because I've visited so many different places and stuff, but there was actually a DEA office and a FBI office too, I believe, inside the city police department. So it's just kind of one of those things. And then you also have, that's another thing, is you also have multi-jurisdictional task forces. So you'll have different agencies that actually work together for, certain causes, right? So you'll have like a marshal's task force, which they'll basically be, the district marshal or whatever, and he'll have his deputy marshals, and then they will go in and they say, what, we could make a lot better, use of our resources if we were to actually put peace officers with us. And so they'll deputize them as federal marshals, and then they go around, they serve warrants and stuff. And it's just kind of it's a different way to get something done. It's just utilizing manpower is really what it is. Let's see what Fubar says here. I have a question. Let me pull that one up so I can see a little better. This happened about 4 weeks ago to me. I called 911 for medical on myself, and when they got here, the police were with them. The cause asked. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. That's sometimes they'll send us as first responders. It just depends. I've been sent on first responders too, for certain calls and stuff. Somebody give someone a hug. It's Hugatrol Tuesday. Someone's needing a hug. He's giving us a peace, LOL. Wow. I guess this is another expert. So so this is the thing, is, when based on everything I'm saying, is, I've got to be around and do a few different things or whatever. And I realized that there's a lot of stuff. I think probably, I'm going to guess honestly that I was probably shocked when I realized how much my assumptions of this job were off, because I had no clue. I really had no clue. When I go in, and I start actually doing this job, I realized that I have no clue. So, and it starts with traffic stops. Traffic stops are, a big one, and especially when, when you're young and, right out of the academy or whatever, and you kind of want to get your feet wet, so to speak, and, get to more comfortable with what you're doing or whatever. And, a lot of guys, get out there and they stop cars, and whether they write tickets or not, they'll stop cars or whatever. So, but I realized that, a lot of the stuff that I thought, um, a lot of the stuff I thought I knew, was completely off. You know, uh, sorry, can only, but yeah, I understand. No problem, Fumar. No problem. Um, so, but anyway, so you get out there and you start stopping cars and you say, "Man, I really have no clue what the hell I'm talking about." And I didn't realize it was going to be like this. And the more that you have experience of it and stuff, the more that you realize it's really different. So, and throughout everything that I've done in this job, I've learned that I really had no clue what I was doing. Um, to the next level, right? And it's like you're constantly learning, and there's a way that you have to kind of get out there and you learn and you realize that your job is still to maintain and preserve the public peace while maintaining and defending the Constitution of the United States. And that's something that you have to learn, that line that you walk to determine if this person is truly breaking a law, or if this is something that is something that could be dealt with somehow else, as opposed to making it a legal issue or whatever. It's not really necessary all the time. And I learned that too over years. Is a lot of times it's better to just kind of say, hey, come on, man, you don't want me in this. You don't want us in this. You got to shake hands and let this go, whatever. Because it's not what you want it to be, right? And that's kind of been a repeat thing, as I've learned that the less that we're involved in stuff, the better all things really can be. If you can solve, especially if you can keep the family stuff, or like neighbors and stuff, that's the big thing, man. When you got these, when you got these like neighbor disputes and stuff, and it's like, man, come on, you guys shake hands, get over this stuff. You don't want us involved in this. I don't want to have to be writing citations and stuff for silly stuff. Good old boy says, I'm thinking about running for police chief. No, I'm not thinking about running for police chief. I'm a captain with the city, so I'll be there. But I have, pondered a little bit, in my mind, and that's kind of where I was leading with this. Is I've kind of pondered a little bit in my mind about running for county sheriff. And that being said, I'm not interested in running for county sheriff anytime soon. It would be not anywhere. It certainly wouldn't be in 2024. It would probably be maybe 4 years after that. If I even do it, I don't know. But I will say that it's something that I've tossed around a little bit, and I've had a lot of people kind of approach me and say, you really should do this, you really should do that, or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of ponder on that a little bit. Our sheriff right now, I would not run against him. I think highly of him, and I wouldn't run against him anyway. And I don't know, how people feel about me running. I don't know, but if I decide to, then I'll make sure I let you guys know. How's that? But that is something I've considered. 1300, good night. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. But the reason that I wanted to bring that up is because, I've kind of been there and done it or whatever, but a lot of stuff that I didn't realize, is I am, surprised at how many people don't understand, what police have to go through and what police have to do on a regular basis to be able to, um, to kind of have the day-to-day stuff, right? So I want to share that with you guys on a little video that I found and stuff, and then we'll break down some stuff. After I beat Chili. Oh Lord, I don't think Chili. Listen, you could not pay Chili to come back here and face me. It's already been said. He's not gonna do that. He's never gonna do that. He never was. But nevertheless, That's where that is. So, but I want to share this with you guys, and we will watch this. And I'll be honest with you, I have not watched this. Okay, Tom sent it to me, and I opened it and I started to watch it, and I was like, you know what? No, I want to watch this on a live stream and just see what I think about it. If it's something I think's inappropriate or something, whatever, then I'll let you know. But let's see how this goes. So.
What happens when you switch the roles of police officers and civilians? Well, today we're going to find out on this episode of Switch. Let's go.
This video is brought to you by Breaking Barriers United. Breaking Barriers United. Ryan Tillman, a good friend of mine, he made this video. He has a whole course that he's doing where he's doing these scenarios to get the public informed about what it's like to be a police officer. And also he goes and speaks in schools. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to help him. I want us to bless him because nobody's doing this. And we need to support his mission. And you can get the link in the description section. Donate something. If you got $1, but I prefer you do at least $20 or something. But donate something because I want to help him continue to do this all over the United States of America, getting people informed on policing. So link is in the description section. Help my boy Ryan Tillman out. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get a notification anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video, share the video. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just explain it real quick because what you're going to see is a scenario switch. Now, you heard Ryan Tillman say it at the very beginning of the video, but what he's going to do is he's going to have a former police officer as a civilian, which former police officers know how to do this better than anybody on planet Earth. And then we're going to have a civilian become the police officer, and they're going to do the role switch. And you're going to see how probably 99.9% of average citizens becoming police officers will react in scenarios like this. And not only does Ryan Tillman do these scenarios, it's not like he's just making them up off the top of his head. They literally go off of actual scenarios that occur. So we're going to watch the switch scenario, then we're going to watch the actual scenario. Roll the clip.
We know how to love the outdoors. We love it too. We're Sportsman's Guide with products for hunting, fishing.
Just real fast, I wanted to kind of explain, the way that they do the approach. We'll go back after this, and I'll kind of talk about if I see things that I agree with or disagree with. But that just kind of reminded me when I saw that. So,
hey, how you doing there, sir?
What's up, officer?
Hey, how you feeling today?
I'm doing fine. What's going on, man?
The reason why I pulled you over, sir, because you had expired tags.
Man, my tags are not expired.
Okay.
I just paid them last week, boss.
Well, sir, you don't have the current tags.
What year? What year is on there?
You have
2021 on there.
Sir, you have 2019.
Man, I took care of that though.
Okay, but sir, can I get your driver's license and registration, please?
Man, you know what? I don't know where. I was at a rush and I was leaving the house, man, and I was just trying to go to the store and get something for my wife. My daughter's not feeling
sure.
good. So,
okay.
I don't know where my.
Okay, sir. If you don't mind, can I just have you keep your hands on the steering wheel, please?
What? Didn't you just ask for my driver's license?
You're right. I did, sir. I apologize.
You want my boss? You want my driver's license?
How about this, sir? Can you just give me your name?
I'm gonna get you my license.
Okay.
Because now I'm feeling certain kind of way. Do you want me to keep my hands here, or do you want me to get?
Sir, go ahead and get your driver's license for me, please.
He's
so you said you were
this,
going to the store?
Yeah, man. You guys get it. You kind of stop people for no reason and stuff, and then you get us a little nervous.
Okay.
And,
I'm sorry, sir. It's okay.
I got it somewhere in here. I
okay.
just don't know.
Officer!
Oops. Ouch.
Officer hit! Officer hit!
Oh, he's done, y'all.
Oh.
All right. Hello. He's done, ladies and gentlemen. That fast, you're gone. Wiped away. Never see your family again. It is over, donezo for you. But it's funny because Mr. Independent is the guy who was the cop. I'll put his link in the description section. But he did a really good job because that's how people actually talk to us. And if you, especially if you were like, you have a mission, like you want it for a murder or something, you're going to have tactics lined up so that you can ambush the cops so you can get away.
Absolutely. Right there is something I want to touch on. Depending on the significance of the person or possibly what they're involved in, they're going to have tactics just like police officers do. They've already rehearsed this in their mind over and over and over and over and over. So that's something that we tend to forget about. Or when we armchair quarterback, we like to say things like, oh, well, my gosh, he acts so nervous, or why is he like that? He's so defensive. Well, it's simply because we're not sure who we're talking to yet, right? We never know. We don't know until we go through everything that we have to. And then if it's something that we can just kind of calm down and chill out after we've seen something, we can evaluate the situation and go from there. But that's a lot of times something that actually happens. So let's keep watching and see how things change.
And so all of that, what he did is realistic. And let me show you why. I think we have a clip of the actual incident that's very similar.
This scenario actually happened in Las Vegas. An officer, a Vegas Metro officer, was doing a stop on somebody. He was actually talking to a guy in a lifted truck, and the suspect, just like said did, was distracting him, looking around, reaching for stuff, fumbling, and he pulled a gun out just at that officer and flipped it just like he did in this scenario, and he shot the officer in his lung. Now, gratefully, they were able to drive that officer to a local hospital and save his life. But that actually happened in Vegas. Happens instantaneously.
So what am I supposed to do in this scenario? So he's not presenting the driver's license. So what am I supposed to do?
You have to investigate and figure out why. You want to control him as much as you can. So the moment I would recognize somebody's kind of stalling, at that moment in time, I'm going to say, you do me a favor, keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times. And then I'm going to get their number. Just tell me, or get their name. Tell me your name. Tell me your date of birth, but keep your hands on that steering wheel. Because now I can go figure it out.
You did that initially.
You did.
Remember, you asked my name, and then I go, look, do you either want my name or my driver's license?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So now when you realize somebody's acting suspicious, you want to be able to control it verbally as much as you can, letting them know, don't make any sudden movements, because the moment you start making sudden movements, that tells me now that you're trying to do something else. This episode of The Switch would not be possible without our sponsors. I want to thank SC Village for allowing us to utilize their facility, but most importantly, I also want to thank 88 Tactical for sending out all the equipment that we were actually able to use during these scenarios. Thanks again, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you see they had sponsors, 88 Tactical and all of that. Shout out to them. We want to help. The Officer Tatum, us, we're going to help him.
Real fast, I just want to say that when he was talking about how, with the guy's hand movement and stuff, and he was, he wanted to shift to the name and date of birth or social security number type thing to keep his hands where he could see him. That's something that I can see using, but I really didn't see anything based on that guy's overall demeanor at the time that really kind of, he was kind of playing the part. So it's kind of like he kind of knew what was coming. But generally speaking, you'd be surprised how many people are actually like, I don't even know where my stuff is, man. So it kind of does happen that way a lot more than probably, maybe this scenario even kind of paints. It makes you think like this is just some, crazy guy that's like being weird with his hands, but it's not always that case. It's a lot of times it's just somebody that's just not really sure what really is going on. So we have to kind of keep that in mind too. So there really is a balancing act, folks. It really isn't always easy.
Get his own equipment and everything he needs to continue to do these scenarios. And I agree with him 1,000% on the perception of what he was saying. One thing that I would add to it is the officer presence. When you show up to a vehicle, you have to let them know it's not a game. And sometimes people may think you're being a jerk or you're being rude, but at the end of the day, when somebody know you ain't playing around, they're less likely to try you. And in the scenario where you go up to the door and you say, hey, sir, may I see your driver's license and registration or whatever the case may be, if you feel like they're getting wonky, put your hands on the steering wheel. And you explain to them very clearly, I want you to keep your hands on the steering wheel the entire time that I speak to you, okay? I don't want nothing going wrong. I don't want to misperceive what you're doing, and you're moving around a lot. I want you to have your hands on the steering wheel. I will ask you questions. I'll write them down, and then I'll run your name. And if any point they get the fumbling around, do not take your hands off of the steering wheel. Be stern with people, straightforward, because that can save your life. No messing around and oh, sir, but I don't want to be mean. But no, I'm giving you a direction. I'm gonna have you step out of the car if you cannot keep your hands on the steering wheel. And then you can't be afraid to pull your gun out. If you feel that any level of a threat, you pull your gun out immediately. Because
Ooh, that's a big one, isn't it? Everybody wants to always say, "Oh man, he's quick to put his hand on his gun" or whatever. But if you look back on that scenario, how fast that literally happened, just simply because he was giving him a little bit of leniency to say, "Oh, well, yeah, go ahead and get your license." And he's shifting around and stuff. And and of course, the guy's probably prepping himself up in his own mind of how he's going to handle this stuff. And he's already psyched himself up to do something awful.
like you saw in the Las Vegas situation, in the instance, a guy could turn around and shoot, get a lucky shot on you. But I think those officers did a great job. I think the civilian did a great job. You got to think he has no experience being a police officer. So with a little bit of experience comes a more balanced perspective in how you deal with people in the public. But I think this is a good scenario because it exposes people to what it's really like being a police officer and how quickly things could turn in real life, and that can be the end. And then it helps you understand that, hey, this is not as easy and cut and dry as it looks like it is on television. Shout out to Ryan Tillman. Shout out to Breaking Barriers United. Let's support them, man. Let's give a donation. Link is in the description section. Like and subscribe.
All right, guys. So the reason that I really just kind of wanted to share that was because, I knew that was going to be one of those things that is going to give kind of a quick, kind of little possible rundown of something that could really go bad, and that's kind of where that went. So, and there's always that opportunity, anytime that you're dealing with somebody that you don't know, you never know what they're going to do, what their motive is. Right. So that's kind of one of those things that, when we go through this stuff, I never know what's going on. My guys don't know what's going on. And that's the safest way for everybody involved to kind of behave, is for our guys to say, look, I need you to do this, and just kind of give direct things. There was actually a thing that we were doing training where we watched this video, and it was like these police officers, or 3 or 4 of them, and they were giving this guy commands, and all of them were saying something different. Like one of them's like, "Get your hands up," and the other guy was like, "Get on the ground, get on the ground." And there's one saying, "Hands on top of the head," and you could see this guy looking at him going, "What do you want me to do?" Right? So that's why it's really, really important that you kind of have direct communication, and you just say exactly, like there's times when I was dealing with stuff, especially when I was younger, I was a patrolman or whatever, and I was, kind of front line, so to speak. When I would give somebody a command to do something after I knew something was up, I knew that at this point, it's going to be something that they're probably getting ready to go to jail, or at least I'm going to detain them, and they're probably going to be, under the circumstances. And I would say, put your hands on top of your head, do it now. Because a lot of times it sounds like I'm saying, do it now, like I'm ranting and raving. But what I'm really saying is, now's when I want you to begin. It's literally not a delayed type thing. It's not something, put your hands on top of your head, do it now. When I was walked through somebody through field sobriety or something, and I would say, okay, I'm going to conduct a series of tests with you. We're going to go through this and this and this and this and this. And then when I was doing, like, let's just say walk and turn tests, I'd say, I need you to do this. I need you to stand on this line right here. Put your right foot in front of your left, and blah, 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 blah. Put your hands on your sides, blah, blah, blah. And I'll walk you through the instruction. And then when I would say, okay, do you understand the instruction? And say, yes. I'd say, you may begin, or do it now, or go ahead and go through with that. Because it's like, if you don't, you'd be surprised how many people will just immediately, when they think they know what you want them to do, they just kind of start doing it. And sometimes they don't get all the instruction. So that leads to some miscommunication. And sometimes it leads to even, escalating things that don't really need to be escalated. So, and I've seen a few of these videos like this one, and I hadn't seen that one. That was a quick disclaimer that was something that, Tom had sent me that I had not seen. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of threw that out there, but I did agree with it. The walk up thing, there's a couple different walk ups that they do, and they'll do the driver's side approach. You do a standard walk up, which is when you go up and you put your hand on the trunk. And what you're doing when you're doing that is you're actually making sure that the trunk is latched. Because you want to make sure that, that there's nobody in that trunk, right? They could jump out on you. Right. And then they go on up, and then they're checking in the seats of the cars or whatever, and seeing what's going on. And then there's a tactical approach when they come out a little wider. And what they're doing at that point is they're basically trying to cover themselves to make sure they can see in the car a little earlier and to make sure that they're kind of staying out of the mirrors. And I think sometimes that kind of helps a little bit too for tactic. So, overall, and this is where, things kind of come to play is, there's always going to be totality. So you have to take every scenario, independently, and individually. And that's why there's so many different ways that you see different officers do certain things. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, and I've had people, even on different panels and stuff I've been involved in, and people's like, I want you to watch this video and I want you to tell me if you agree with these officers. And I'm going, okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, I probably can't do that because I don't know. I don't know everything that happened. I don't know what happened 5 minutes before this. I don't know what experience they had with this guy. I don't know who this guy is, what he's wanted for, what he's believed to be doing. I mean, everything changes what this is. Without me knowing everything that's going on, it's impossible for me to cast judgment. And without me being able to actually look into everything and do an investigation on it, then I really couldn't really be able to do it. And me doing an investigation on something is just not practical. I mean, I don't have anything to do with these guys. They don't care what I think, but it's ultimately there's no way I could be able to do it. Right. So it's just not fair. And I try to maintain that and say, I don't know. I mean, based on what you're telling, and then, they try to kind of bring you down even more and say, well, now tell me what you think about this. Well, at least tell me what you think about this. Well, I understand where you're getting at. And I want you to, I understand that you're saying, well, what do you think about the fact that they punched him with a closed fist? Well, I know what you're wanting me to say. You're wanting me to say, well, they shouldn't have done that. That's excessive. But without knowing what the circumstances was surrounding that, I don't know if that's excessive or not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. If maybe this guy had a knife underneath his body and he was trying to conceal it and stuff, and they're delivering strikes to get him to comply or whatever, to surrender that knife, then no, that's not excessive anymore. Or, there could be a lot of different things that could be part of it. So, but that being said, just remember, guys, that, let's be real careful about doing too much armchair quarterbacking. And I'm going to do some more of these type things, as we keep going and stuff, and actually doing some more, videos and talking about different things and talking about different tactics and such. And I'm going to do it from not only a police officer standpoint, but from just kind of like a 2A guy, a tactics type guy, that, I don't as much now, but, I used to spend a lot of time training, training for, different types of, weapon manipulation and weapons retention, obviously marksmanship, tactics, building, clearing, the whole 9 yards. Guns are just kind of my thing. So I just kind of gravitated towards being able to actually just do that and have fun with it. And I just kind of spent my time doing that. I was always training or lifting or training strength and conditioning, or training with firearms, or training defensive tactics, or jiu-jitsu, or grappling, or weapons retention, or whatever. So, and I will do that. I'm going to do some video reaction type stuff and kind of break down stuff on some of those things on a more specific note. But that was a quick scenario based on a traffic stop. And then you think, okay, well, approaching somebody in their car is one thing, right? But approaching somebody in their house, ooh, that's even a whole different thing. When you think about going into somebody's house, and you get for domestic or whatever, and you start realizing, wow, all the stuff that they, all the stuff that they are going to say or do or whatever from a car, multiply it by 10 when they're in their house. Exactly, Archangel. Yes, if you're going to armchair quarterback, at least be comfortable and do it from a lazy boy or easy boy or whatever they're called. Oh man, you might see, Archangel. I don't even have that, man. I can't. I'm literally sitting on like a hard chair right now. I can't even sit up here and armchair quarterback somebody from a comfortable place. That ain't even right. And I'm a captain. That ain't right. But anyway, so I talk a lot about of different concealed carriers and stuff, and little things that people do, and some of the tactics that I've used. Hey Roseanne, how are you? And different stuff like and I was teaching the class one time, and I was teaching it to some concealed carriers, and one of the things was I was kind of giving examples of situational awareness. And I said, when I go into a public restroom, I always try to find a urinal in which I have the best opportunity to defend myself. And sometimes I will even choose like one that's got the high plumbing, like because they're always got that real polished plumbing in the public restrooms or whatever. And I will use that. That way I can actually use that like a reflection to be able to see behind me. I kind of use it like a mirror. And little things that I do, like I don't ever like to sit with my back to like a doorway or anything. I always try to put my position to where I can be to keep an eye on the door and to keep an eye on wherever the cash register is if I'm in a business of some sort, just because it simply makes things easier for me to be able to feel at least tactically sound at the very least. And that's just something that I do, that I kind of try to exercise. And it's funny because my wife will go into a place to sit down or whatever, and she's immediately like, and she just immediately walks around to the chair that would be facing with the back, because she knows that I'm not going to sit there. But yeah, that's just kind of how I am. So, and I'm sure there's other people who do that too. So, but anyway, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing some videos, that are going to be more direct and more kind of, I hate to say reactions. I don't like, I use that word a lot, but I don't really like to call it reactions, because it's not really a reaction. It's kind of me being more, I'm kind of mediating, if you will, between maybe what's going on. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes too. So, but anyway, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about was New Year's resolutions. I want everybody to be honest right now. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you really do have a New Year's resolution. And I mean like one that you really are planning on seriously doing. You don't have to tell me what it is. Just a 1 in the chat if you do have one. Just a 1. Just that like button right there. See it right there. Okay, so I see a couple already. See. What's up, Burns? So okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I didn't really until recently, and I want everybody, if they feel if they feel comfortable to do so, I would like to hear some of y'all's New Year's resolutions. And I'll tell you this, I have always done really poorly with them because I have an intention of being something. Yeah, Archangel for Truth. I need Chili's. I don't need anything from Chili, buddy. I'll tell you what, if you will market that and just take his name off of it, then okay. But I'm certainly not going to wear it if it says like the Chili Terminator 2000 or something. Anyway, so with the resolutions, every time I've ever done it, man, I failed. Like no matter what, like I'm like, okay, why? Do I say I'm going to do this? And then of course, within like 5 weeks, I've already forgotten even what the heck I was even going to do. I'm like, well, what was I going to do again? I was going to do this or whatever. But I've made a decision this year that I'm going to level with you guys after that fight was canceled. That was kind of tough for me. That was a hard one for me because I put a lot of work into that. I really did. I put a lot of work, and because I put a lot of work into that, when it didn't go through, it was almost depressing for me, and I kind of struggled with it. So because that, I kind of lost focus, and I quit training and everything for a while, and I kind of got lazy and stuff. But I've been training a lot since then, or the past week or so. I've actually started training again. And I'm not by any means, I'm not going anywhere like I was when I was fighting. But I'm definitely putting more into it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good old boy. Big shocker. Hey, breaking news. Chili was messing with the police today. Follow us for more breaking news. Wow. I can't hardly control myself thinking about Chili's infinite wisdom talking to the police and stuff. Anyway, um, so anyway, so I started training a little bit, and I'm still not anywhere near where I was, and I'm certainly not stronger in the shape that I was before. But I'm going to push myself really hard to do a few things this year. I'm going to completely get myself physically back where I was. I want to do that for sure. I want to get back to where, I feel really good again, and, and I'm strong and in shape and everything. And I'm not talking about fighting. I'm not interested in that. That was going to be just one last hurrah type thing if she would have decided to fight, but she didn't. But nevertheless, so I'm kind of, I know, good old boy, I was just messing with you. I know you was just saying, because I know everybody's shocked about Chili. So do you say, I just need you to hit that like button, finger guns, self-driving. You know what? Well, we were not going to fight for that. That was, the tattoo thing was going to be, I actually invited Josh to come on the stream tonight, and he didn't get back with me. I don't know if he got open the messages or not, but that was going to be a fundraiser, and we may still do something like that too. I want to do some fundraisers this year. I do. And there's been a lot of things that's kind of been a little bit on my heart and stuff. That was actually what I was going to talk about New Year's. So I'm going to do, obviously, myself. I'm going to get back in shape, or try to, or whatever. I'm going to go hard on that, and I'm going to change up a little bit about the content type stuff that I do. But specifically, I would love to do some fundraisers, and I want you guys to pick them, and I want you guys to help me do them, and I want you guys to kind of tell me what to do. Give me ideas, give me ideas and challenges, or whatever we can do to actually generate some revenues for some good causes and stuff. Man, that St. Jude's thing that we done, we raised a lot of money. Not me, I mean you guys. But in the other channels and stuff. And, I know that there was a lot of other channels that got involved and done a lot of really good things, including Joss's channel, that helped out significantly and actually done a really, really good job. And I know that, gosh, there were several, and we had a bunch of people on page on that one. So, but anyway, so we're going to do that some more too, and what I've really kind of noticed is I have been so, I hate to say, I guess I've kind of been, I guess I paid more attention to a lot of things. Like with this weather, man. Wow, man, the homeless community really that really bums me out. And I've noticed there's a lot of things, and for whatever reason, I've noticed, and how you go scrolling on Facebook or whatever, and it's like all of a sudden you're like, and you read something again, and it's like, yeah, I just needed to hear more depressing stuff about somebody else that's really having a bad time. And I'm going, and I can't help them. I don't have any way to help nobody. But, nevertheless, it's like, man, so, I see these people, like, people that are dealing with illnesses and stuff. And like, and these people are trying to work, they're trying to make a living, they're trying to provide for their families and kids. And then, they get kicked in the face with some kind of awful illness. And it's like, man, that's just sad. It's really sad. And I hate that, I really honestly want it to be different. I wish we could help people, and that I'd love to be able to do some of that. I want you to climb Colorado. Ooh, is that Pikes Peak out there in Colorado? It's 14,000 feet or something like that. Man, you don't ask for much, do you? But anyway, so like, we're going to do some stuff like that. We'll do some fundraisers and stuff for different people, maybe some local families, or maybe I don't really care. I don't really care where they're from. If we can help people, I want to do it. Because that's the difference in actually wanting to change somebody's day or life or whatever, and then just actually doing it. Right? Like, I don't have money. I barely get by. But I've got an able body. And I'm willing, hang on, Arch. Here we go. Archangel says, how about a fundraiser to the International Sovereign Citizen Jail Bail Bond Fund? Well, that's a tongue twister there. That'd be the ISCJBBF. There's your initialism, Large. Yes, good old boy, homeless vets. I'm game, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Or whatever. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care to do more stuff for St. Jude's. I think that's a wonderful charity. And obviously homeless, veterans, I've done the challenge back in July with the 2.2 miles a day for the veteran suicide, which is, that's pathetic that we're the nation that we are, and we can't seem to protect our veterans better. I think that's just craziness. We need to step up. There's got to be something. We could spend money all over the world, and I'm not against it. I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't care a bit to pay tax dollars to help other countries around the world and stuff. But when I think about, our veterans and stuff and dealing with the stuff they got to, man, then I think about these children and stuff, and, and it's thinking, all right, we're funding war machines around the world, but we can't, I'm not going on that tangent. Never mind. But anyway, so, I really honestly just have my own opinions about that people probably were smarter than me to tell me that I'm wrong. So I probably am, but nevertheless, so I'm all game for some fundraisers. So, but before we do that, for all of you that put the one in the chat, if you're comfortable, tell me what your resolution is. I want to see this, because you guys know mine. I want to do some more fundraisers. I want to get back in shape. I want to kind of reestablish the channel and push in a little bit. I got stuck at like this 2,100 subs type thing. And I know it's because I'm not really trying to put out content. My content sucks. I mean, I'm just not really that good at it. But, nevertheless, if we can get some more people to join the channel, it's just more people to hang out with. So I would like to grow the channel some more. I think that'd be fun. Okay, Chris, absolutely. The paperwork to establish a foundation minutes. I'm game, buddy, because I have no clue. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but I'm not acting when I play Tater. Okay, I'm acting right now. The real me is going, you hit that log button. So yeah. Nobody's gonna put their resolution in. Oh, Burns put it. Let's see. To write and record more music. Man, you can't go wrong with that. Dude, I don't even play anymore, man. Like, seriously, I haven't played guitar probably more than 5 minutes in the past month. Seriously, it's sad. And I love to play. I used to really love to play. That's what I'm talking about, Logan. Yeah. Help someone today who won't take your help. Damn right. If we got the opportunity to be somebody's corner man, we're going to do it. Do it to it. Oh, I know, Chris. Hang on. Let me see here. Just right there. Just right there. Is that like button? And we may end up doing some more Tater type video. I gotta tell you, man. Did you guys see the short that I shared with Miss Dusty? That was so cool, man. Miss Baby Doll Ironton allowed me to be able to to meet Miss Dusty, and it was such a blessing. And then she sent that video of her saying Merry Christmas, and I was like, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. And I was told that she is somewhat of a Tater fan, and she thinks Tater's pretty cool. So Tater had to do that video response back to her and stuff. But we may do some more. We may do some more Tater stuff coming up too. I don't know. Who knows, man? We'll do all kinds of stuff. I agree, good old boy. No room for bad cops, buddy. You preaching to the choir, buddy. I'm not perfect. I make a lot of mistakes, but I try. I generally go in thinking that my best of my ability, I want to make sure that I protect freedom. And that's just how I see things. And I really truly believe that my men that work directly under my command really feel that way too. I would be disappointed if I thought otherwise. But anyway, so that's where we stand. So, Evan Lawyer, I didn't even know that you play, man. Oh, you can't play single note. Well, I don't feel bad about it because I really can't play very good either. But it's fun anyway, so yeah, but that's the thing is like, I remember thinking like, everybody's like, oh man, you play so good. I'm like, wow, you're really easy to fool. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I like playing, but I'm not a great guitar player. I'm not a great singer. I just kind of do it. So, yeah, I agree, Logan. Yeah, absolutely. When you consciously make decisions to be a moron, that's what makes bad cops. And making mistakes, that's life. But when you're out there just being a dick, I have no room for you in my profession, and you're an embarrassment to me, and I don't want you around. Yeah, I would. You know what? I try. You know what I mean? Like I know I've made mistakes, and I look back, and there's times I'll be like, man, I know I've done that wrong. I should have done something different, whatever. But can I consciously say that at the time I made the best decision that I could based on what I knew? Yeah. I mean, I tried, and that's how I always do it. Lisa, you were late. Go to the principal's office. It's a tardy slip for you. Whew. Gosh, I can't take this stress. Whew. And Tater would be disappointed. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy down there. Yeah, like lying in reports. Yeah, absolutely. If you lie in a report, then you're not any good to me. So, by all means, Lisa, that's right. Lisa's tardy. Everybody tell Lisa to show up on time next time. And if she comes to class, make sure she has enough bubble gum for everybody. Jeez. So, but yeah, so I'm super excited about 2023, guys. I really want to see some really big things happen, and I want to see some big things happen, in our kind of our partner channels, so to speak, too, in our community, with Terry or Iron Otter, and Derek. I know Derek's been putting out a little bit of content. I've noticed Derek's kind of went a little bit different direction too with his stuff. Dark Watch, no, I did not. I grew up in Barboursville, West Virginia. And actually I went, after I got married to my first wife, I went to Ohio, and I went to the academy, and that's kind of how I ended up where I'm at. So, but yeah. Oh, and I'm quite sure Arnton was just happy to get me. And you notice I said Arnton. That's right. That's right. But yeah, so 2023 is going to be awesome. We're going to see growth for the channels. I want to see, and I want some of you guys, man. I've noticed too, like there's a lot of people that are putting out content now, man. And if I can catch it and I know it, I'll try to share it. I'm not always on. You know what I mean? Like I'm staying so busy and stuff with different stuff. Yeah, that's right. That's so funny. Martin. But yeah, so if you guys are putting out stuff that you want me to see, or if you want me to try to share your stuff, I'd be happy to. Just let me know by all means. And I want to grow this channel, and I would like to see, we're at 2,100. I would love to see 2,200 very soon. No, I did not. That lackluster guy, he actually, that guy actually sent me an email here a while back about something. I don't remember what we talked about. But actually he was a really nice guy. Like, I mean, I've been told he's an auditor of some sort, and I don't know, but he was really, really nice to me. No, I didn't see it. I surely didn't see it. But that dude was really cool with me. So anyway, yeah, is Sovereign still on over there? I hadn't heard, so I really didn't really want to pull anybody away. I don't want to. I hate doing this. I really don't like being live when like other people, my buddies or other channels in our community and stuff are live, because I don't like pulling away from people and stuff, and and pulling away in different chats and stuff. It's kind of hard to do sometimes because I don't ever know when anybody is, and this is my fault. So Sovereign, when you see this tomorrow, I admit this is my fault. Okay. I forgot it was Tuesday. and I scheduled that, and I put that on unknowingly, and then it hit me, and I was like, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you when it hit me. I sent Terry an invite to join the panel, and he was like, okay. He said, well, I'm almost Sovereign. He said, but I'll jump off and hop on with you for a little bit. And I said, no. I said, no, don't do it, because I don't want to be like that. So I said, I'll just kind of do mine, and I'll just kind of go kind of short or whatever, because I usually don't go as long as those guys do. I have before. There's been a few times where I've had those guys on, and it's like, wow, we're still going. Yeah, effing lawyer, man. I hope you get to feeling better, dude. For real, man. COVID kicked my ass. I mean, like, I had it bad, man. I'll tell you, man, I really want to give a big shout out. I've seen Dark Watch's name pop up there, man. Dark Watch is unreal at the absolutely, what a blessing. And man, it's not, there's so many of you guys are just so good to me, and I don't really know why. It's like, can't you guys get like good people to follow? Like, what do you want me? Like, you know better to do? But anyway, man, I'm so blessed by you guys, man. Like, I'm blown away, but the amount of support from all you guys, and how good you guys are to me. And it's humbling. Yes, Sovereign is an absolute asshole. He's an asshole, and we all know it. He's an asshole. But I love him. I don't know. No, you know what? It's like, that's the thing about me, man, is, I don't have to agree with you. I'll be honest. I think a lot of stuff he says is woo out there, but I love him to death. And I mean, and I enjoy his company, and, he's been a really good dude to me, and we don't have to agree on things for me to like his company. And I like to give everybody the perfect opportunity and the exact best opportunity that I can for everybody to have an equal say, so, but, and that's why, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of giving some flack when I had Josh Abrams on my channel. He was like, oh my gosh, do you not see why? And I'm going, I mean, I don't know. I don't guess, but he's never treated me like that. You know what? He could be the greatest guy ever or the worst guy ever. And until he does one thing to me to make me feel otherwise, I'm not going to judge him. I don't believe that. As my pastor used to say, Jesus ain't in that, man. You have to give me a reason not to like you before I'm going to choose to. Josh has always been really, as a matter of fact, James Freeman's always been really, and I honestly, there's times I'm scrolling, I see James on my Facebook, and Josh is doing stuff. I'm scrolling, I'm going, James. I want so bad to like comment and be like, or LOL Be like, that James Freeman, he's always sharing that anti-police stuff, but down deep we know, James Freeman, we know. And Josh Abrams, we know. You all seen Josh Abrams sent me that card that time? It said back blue. He was so pissed. He was like messaging me. He's like, "Oh, you dick." I was like, What is it, bud? He's like, "Nah." He's like, "That was a good one." He's like, "I'm gonna get you back." I was like, "Nah, come on, man. You ain't gonna get this level. Who are you talking to?" Right? Yeah, exactly. Effing lawyer said it right. Yes. I don't agree with a lot of his theories, but I like him. I mean, he just kind of fits, you know. And you know what? And that's the thing is, I see people in the chat saying not a fan of him, not a fan. But isn't that awesome though? Think about it. I've literally had I think James calls himself a volunteerist, I believe is how they refer to themselves. I'm not real up to date on that stuff, but basically he has the idea that it's basically everybody's kind of completely free will, which I understand where that comes from and I can appreciate that, but it's not really real likely in my opinion. But I will say that I've had James on my channel. I've had Josh Abrams on my channel. Sovereign's on my channel. I'm all about, man, you know what? If you got a voice, I don't care. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you, but I mean, you've got just as much freedom as me, brother. You say what you want to say, I may kind of giggle at you. I'm just kidding. But I love having different variety of people on to hang out with and stuff. And I think that's what kind of makes it, that's what kind of makes it unique. And I've kind of pledged to kind of be that way too. I want to open the doors up to all kinds of different people, man. I don't really care. As long as they don't get in here and I won't let them talk anything bad about my friends, or first of all, I don't want to hear anything bad about my God. You don't have to agree with it. That's fine. But I do. And I don't want you bashing my God. I don't want to listen to that. You're not going to be on my panel if you do. And secondly, I don't want you bashing my friends and my family. Somebody says something nasty about my wife or kids or something, you're probably going to see a different side of me. But other than that, whatever, you can talk about policemen, what everybody's like, oh, I hate cops. I'm like, me too. Whew, stupid pigs, pig tyrants. Dang. Stupids. What's the matter with them? They stupids. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like anytime I've watched Josh, like doing his when Josh does his audits or whatever, and I got an idea, and I'm gonna talk to him about it this week. No, good old boy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people saying nasty things or mean things. My wife's beautiful. I know that. I married her. Anyway, so like, let's see, you made me lose my train of thought. It wasn't hard to do, was it? What? Playgrounds. But I got this idea, right? And I can't wait. Because I'm gonna just to F Josh anyway. But I want to do like these breakdown videos. I'm gonna start breaking down Abrams videos, but I'm gonna do it totally different because I'm gonna take his videos and I'm gonna try if somebody can help me with it. I want to break them down and just use his video, but like change the audio over it. And like say the stuff that I want to say, or like, like that when that woman threw something at him recently and stuff. I want to have like a fight challenge and like there'll be a bell ringing and be like round one. I think that would be funny. Where's my boy Flat Dirt, man? He could make that happen. Art said, don't speak for Sovereign. Kick was rude and disrespectful to him because and honestly, I'll be honest with you, I love Kick to death, man. I mean, I do, and I can't speak for him personally. He's got his own beliefs, and I'm sure he holds his beliefs as dear as anybody else. But nevertheless, I still want them to have their equal say, and Kick will always be welcome on my channel because, Kick has always been good to me, and which Sovereign's always been good to me, and there's been a lot of people, and Flat Derp, of course, he's always going to be welcome on my channel because it's Flat Derp. Okay. I got to get derped again. So I'm going to say it this way. Flat Derp's my hero, right? Stay tuned. Watch. Let's see what Kevin's got to say here. Kevin says, I'm 67. A lot has changed in law enforcement over the years. My dad was a sheriff. Also, there's been a lot change since the Buford Pusser days. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's a whole different world now. So, and yeah, see, everybody laughing at me now. But you know what? Tell me right now, y'all don't love Flat Derp. Come on now. Jesus is watching you. Don't try to lie. Okay? You ain't going to pull it off. Because if you try to tell me right now that you don't love Flat Derp, I'm going to be like, come on now. For real. Oh, yeah. See, love the derp. Oh, that's right. Kick got kicked off of Sovereign's channel last night. I did not know that. I hate to defend Sovereign. Oh Lord. He was right about Kick. I must have missed that, man. A kid, a rookie, captain, shit, change. Yeah. I've got, I wish I still felt like a kid. I certainly don't feel like it anymore. My body's old and beat up. Too many times hitting the ground and fighting these drunk morons. Wanted to beat me up. But yeah, so what happened over at Sovereign's channel? I didn't know this happened. I'm assuming it was a flat earth type debate, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't understand that. I try to maintain respect for everybody. And that's just it. Of course there are times, passion is something that's not easily controlled. Let's face it, if it was, then we would never have crimes involving passion, right? Yeah, right. I'm 43. But there's there's crimes of passion that are just that, right? And when that happens, it's not easy to control. If it was, then we would never have that, right? So when you deal with something that is close to your heart, or you think it is, or you're just really dead set in your beliefs, in something, that sometimes it turns into an act of passion, and a lot of times you may say things that maybe is out of character, I don't know. And there's times that that you may say things that even if you still agree with it, you maybe hate the way you delivered it. Does that make sense? It's like, oh man, I probably could have used that. I used to have actually, as my pastor used to say, there's two different ways to do surgery. You can use a scalpel or you could use a hatchet. Both of them make an incision, right? Sovereign was trash talking Kick. Kick came in and asked if there was a problem, and he'd answer any questions. Sovereign was upset that Kick had done the stream about a frauditor. Really? I must have missed it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm been working so much through the week and stuff. Yes, Chris, it's exactly what it is. Like, yeah, it's an act of passion. When if you would do something awful to somebody that you love because you're hurting. Yeah. And there's actually in Ohio law, at least, there's certain there's certain elements that apply to different laws based just on that, a crime of passion. So, it'll usually get the term aggravated attached to it a lot of times in my experience. And, that usually carries with it a bigger penalty, and it's kind of, a lot of times it's domestic related type stuff, or whatever. I don't know. But Lisa nailed it. Yeah. So okay, well I'm gonna have to check into that because I didn't see that. Is that video on Sovereign's channel or what? Because I want to see that. And I'm not like the drama chaser either, guys. Okay. Like I don't normally like get on there and be like, oh man, I gotta see who's fighting and arguing. And I know okay, I gotta tell you. Like there was a while when I was bringing there a lot of different people on my panels and stuff, and I will again. It's been kind of a timing thing. Okay, I'll check it out on Solve's channel. But there's been times that I've had a lot of different characters from different different beliefs, so to speak, on panel, and I'm kind of going, like I'm going, I gotta, whatever. But I was actually kind of like accused of being like a drama chaser. Like I was intentionally trying to like bring different people with different beliefs and ideals on just so I could like get clicks and views. And I'm going, dude, no, I promise you, there was nobody in the house that had a hotter seat than me at the time. I was like going, yeah, so no. So Kick's part of the first channel. Sorry, I'm going under Kick on this channel. Kick to say things without receipts. Huh? Okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see it and whatever, and I'm probably by no means the one to break down anything that either one of those guys say, because I don't know where their where their backgrounds are on certain topics or whatever. But I like both those guys, so I kind of hate that happening, but I can still respect both of them and respect their opinions, and I can respect them from a distance if I have to keep from getting drug into something between two people that I like. So, and that's, what I've seen somebody was, would you ever do a ride along with a sovereign citizen driving your squad? Well, absolutely, buddy. Well, you can't, as far as driving the car, I don't know about that, but I don't care if somebody wants to ride. I mean, I can't actually approve the ride. As a matter of fact, our ride-alongs are technically suspended since the COVID stuff, and they just haven't ever opened them back up that I know of. But if they would, I don't care. Yeah, bring us offset with me. I don't really care. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can think what you want of me. I don't really mean. What's the speed limit? Yeah, generally speaking, Lee. So there's, every agency is going to have their own way of doing things. There's going to be times that you may have somebody that wants to get out there and actively work speed, and they work it really aggressively. But I used to have a saying that if it's 9 over, I'm not going to mess with them. If it's 10, I may stop them, but I'm probably not going to write them a ticket. And this is when I was younger and I was actually out working more traffic when I was, a patrolman. But I probably wouldn't stop them. But if they got over 15, they might get, depending on where I'm at, like 15 mile an hour difference is a big difference in a 35 mile an hour speed limit. You're talking 50 miles an hour and 35, right? So that's a big difference in, that and on 55 mile an hour speed limit, right? So yeah, I would more likely maybe write them a ticket at that level, but not always even then, because I never really liked writing tickets, to be honest. And I used to write tickets, when I was younger, just because, it gave me the opportunity to get out there and kind of potentially do some crime prevention type stuff, and I would stop cars based on the fact that, we have a lot of thefts in the area or something, or break-ins or whatever, and I maybe take that chance to kind of whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Friday night. Wow, that's cool, man. Yeah. Honestly, our we have a policy against social media type stuff in the city. Yeah, I'm stealing money. Oh, for writing tickets? I disagree, because I've been on crash scenes, some really bad ones that are related to stuff. So You know, I don't really care about if they get a fine out of it. I don't want them to get a fine, but you know, sometimes if I have the opportunity to keep somebody from doing something that may cause me to get hurt, then I want to do that if I can. But anyway, you know, a lot of times what I would do is I would use it for crime prevention. I would actually get out there and, you know, like I said, we used to have, you know, certain areas of the city, you know, we get hit with like kind of get plagued for people stealing or breaking into houses, or breaking into cars, you know, so I would go out certain times of the evening or night or whenever that generally would kind of be around when we think things are happening. And I would just start based on probable cause. I may start stopping different cars and, you know, and see what's going on. No, you're right. Really, yeah, I'll be honest. I'll tell you, I'll share a story with you guys. I was working speed on a city street. You know, it's a really heavily traveled street, and I was working speed, and my radar lit up like crazy. Like, I mean, it's like singing, like really going. I was like, what in the world? So I go to look down at my radar, and I see this car like flying up at me. And I looked at my radar, and I was in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, and I clocked this car at 72 in a 35. And I was like, and I know that he was way higher than that because he seen me and he started cramming when I seen him at 72. So I go pull him over, and I get up there, and this was a 16-year-old kid, and he just left school. And I go up there, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, man, you know, there's way too much traffic on this road, you know, going this slow, or, you know, this speed limit. And he's like, no, blah, 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 I'm sorry, all this stuff like that. And he's like, and he had like 3 buddies in his car too, you know, they just left high school or whatever. And I'm like, dude, and he's like, man, if you write me a ticket, he's like, I'm gonna lose my license. And I said, really? He's like, yeah. I said, I'm not gonna write you a ticket if you'll do me one favor. And he says, what's that? I said, call your dad on speakerphone. And he goes, huh? I said, if you call your dad right now on speakerphone and let's both talk to him, then I won't write you a ticket. And he's going, are you serious? I said, it's up to you. I mean, you know, and he goes, okay. So he calls his dad, and I get his dad on the phone. And I mean, this guy was just, fired up. And he's like, how fast was he going? I was like, he's going pretty good. He's moving pretty good. And he's like, well, you just keep him there and I'll be right there. Well, so I hung up, and this kid's looking at me, he goes, sir, he says, will you let me get a head start to get home? And I was like, no, but I was like, Dad said he wants you here. And he's like, well, do me a favor. He's like, don't leave me here. I was like, okay. So, but the guy gets there, and he's like, no, you're grounded. I'm taking your car and all this stuff for a couple of weeks until you calm down or whatever. So, oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely worse than a ticket. Absolutely. But you know, you know what? I bet Dad did break the speed limit getting there, but I'll be honest with you, he was so fired up, I wasn't going to cross him. He took my car from me too. I'd have been grounded. But yeah. Anytime, Arch, anytime you want to come up, buddy, you can. I will do better about getting these planned earlier, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of just do them on a whim. And I really don't put a whole lot of thought into exactly when I'm going to go. But when I actually get more of a schedule, Arch, just kind of stay tuned, and I'll shoot you a link, and especially if I don't really have a whole lot of topic. Tonight would actually have been a cool night to do that, but you know, because I really just want to talk about maybe, you know, just kind of shooting the breeze with you guys. And honestly, my intention was at very most I just wanted one panel guest with me, because I really just kind of want to interact with you guys more, because you guys are really the reason I do this anyway. You know, and you guys are the reason that makes it interesting for me, and the support you guys give me. I'm so humbled, man. You know, it's amazing to me how much do you guys even care what I have to say? You know, I've been so blessed. But you know, it's a lot of fun, you know, and I want to keep growing it because it's not just about me, you know, I don't really care, you know, like, you know, as far as money goes, it's nice. Absolutely. Is it nice to have an incentive to doing stuff? Sure it is. But I've only got any kind of pay one time from YouTube, you know, because I mean, my channel is not big enough. I don't get super chats and super stickers and all this stuff from YouTube very much. I get my support. A lot of people give me support through, like, you know, sending stuff to my Cash App and stuff when I do get support. But ultimately, that's just an incentive. Just hanging out with you guys and growing this channel and having more people just to kind of be in the community, if that makes sense, and share more stories and more appreciation for different things. That's what's awesome. This is, you know, I have a blast. I wish I could actually do it more, but you know, I got to work. They make me work all the time. And then so does my wife. And she expects things. She wants luxuries. She's so needy. Just want. Ooh, we got to have electric. You got to have water and heat. Just bundle up. Put a blanket on. Build a fire. You're fine. I won't take another day off. Anyway. I almost got a phone call today. I don't even want to know. It was probably somebody going to be mean to me again. Poor little Captain Chad Legicator. And everybody wants to be mean to me and take my lunch money and stuff. Lord have mercy. But anyway, so like, yeah, it's yeah, we women are good. I know. It's like she just always wants something. It's like, oh, we got to eat. Didn't you eat yesterday? Good Lord. Expecting that stuff all the time? I can't. That's what I was going to say. I would love to be able to do a live stream. And if things ever do change and our policy changes, then I will do just that. I will take you guys on a live stream, want to ride along with me. But for now, I can't. We have a policy against social media like that. It would be fun though. I don't know. It's the little things that the wives want, like heat and air, food, electric, water. We got a creek. I mean, come on. Right? Yeah, good night, effing lawyer, brother. Appreciate you, man. I ain't gonna do that. Good old boy, you crazy? Hell. You think I'm gonna wake her up? Hell no, I ain't scared of that woman. Come on, woman. And I'd be like, hi, honey. Root of all evil women. Yep. They always want things. Okay, so let me ask you guys something. You know what? You all brought this up. You done this. What the hell is with some of these weird things? Like, okay, you guys know what Cincy is? Put a one in the chat if you know what Cincy is. I'm serious. Like, this is the thing. Yeah, she's buddy. Darkwatch. She is absolutely worth. She's my best friend. Okay, look at all these people putting ones in the chat. Okay, let me break this down for you. It's candle wax. It's candle wax that smells. I'm not making this up, guys. For the guys that are out there that actually are with me on this, true story. It's freaking candle wax, melted candle wax that smells. Okay, you with me? Well, let me tell you this. It's not inexpensive. No. At one time, I was spending $100 a month on candle wax. Yeah. Let that sink in. Candle wax. Okay. Candle wax? For real? Come on now. $100 a month for wax? Oh, and I'm sorry, but she also has to have think here. What's the other thing? Yes, thank you. Since he's not worth it. Well, to her, she likes it. So I don't know. But she gets these coffee drinks, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna admit, okay, I'm not a fan of Starbucks. I don't like their politics, and it really pisses me off. I'm not allowed to carry my gun in that place, and then they don't want my money that bad. So, oh well. But they still get my money because they get it from my wife. Bastards. They're backdooring me, get my money anyway. But anyway, so my wife has to get these coffees. Okay. And let me tell you something. You think your $1.50 coffee at the gas station? No. Like $8 to $11 at the coffee store for something, a chino or something every day, something different. And it's like, and I'll be honest with you, she like got me one, and I like kind of got hooked on because basically it's not really coffee. It's like a kitchen. Okay, this is a freaking McFlurry, folks. You can go to McDonald's and get the same stuff, and they call it a McFlurry or Dairy Queen. Okay, you don't really have to go, and just because they call it Venti or what else, those other names that they put on the things, whatever it is, because Venti I think means 20, I believe, but nevertheless, like, okay, so just because you call it something else, you've got to find another reason to charge $11 for it. Sorry, because Captain Chad ain't got no money for that. I gotta buy guns and ammo. See my hat? That's Hornady. And Hornady ammunition ain't cheap. Okay? So you're going to have to bring your coffee down. So I can buy ammo. Come on, man. Do me a solid. Save me a few bucks on your Ventés. Right? Come on, man. Oh yeah, she's awesome to me. She's wonderful. She's definitely Vente Grande. Yeah, it's biggins. That's a more big and dry. But yeah, she's my best friend. And she certainly keeps things together around here. You know, because basically I'm the biggest child. I know you guys find that really hard to believe because you're thinking, no, not our Captain Chad. He is responsible. Well, I got to break it to you. I'm not always. There's times that I'm almost childish. It's hard to believe, I know. But you can ask my wife, and she'll tell you certain things that I will blurt out in public places and really crowded rooms and ask her if she's got her certain herpes medication or anything else that I can think of randomly off cuff. Or there are times that we go to the car and like I'll run and get in the car real fast and then I'll lock the doors. And then like I'll like act like I'm gonna let her in. And then I'll like pull up a little bit. And then she tries to get in, I'll pull up again. Yeah, she don't think it near as funny as I do. But I think it's hilarious. And she gets so pissed. You saw me in the store? Where did you see me in the store at? What door what? Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I think about that. And the thing is too is remember I'm an educator and I taught her. It means like I taught her to be able to hurt people if she has to. $3 a day for Starbucks, 15 a week, 60 a month, 720 a year. That's a gun. And $3 a day for Starbucks, I'll be honest with you. You ain't going with my wife. Because it ain't gonna be the $3 coffees. No, sir. I think she gets whatever they got, and then she says, "Go ahead and add me a little shot of Expenso in there, just a little bit of Expenso. I know you got the espresso, but I want the Expenso, please. Double shots of Expenso." Golly, Lord have mercy me. It's like, what in the world's in that shit? There can't be anything in it that good. Good Lord, people. Oh no. Oh, let me tell you something, Rebecca. Like, she gets so pissed at me. Like, I swear, she'll put her hands in and go, it is cold, and you're just doing this because you're like a child. She's like, oh my God, I'm not playing this. I swear to God, you better open this door. And I'm going, I will this time, honey, I promise. And then she's like, I'm like, and of course the boys think it's hilarious too. But either way, she'll learn. Or like, I'll catch her in the bathroom and I'll go in there and turn the lights out. And she's like, you turn the lights out in the shower. And I'm like, yeah, so, but hey, it's life, right? You married me, lady. What's wrong with you? It's your fault. You expect me to be different? Ain't no way. You should have knew. You should have literally planned when you married me to know that you're basically getting a dunce. Okay? I'll be honest with you. When Chili said I was a dunce cap, I mean, he kind of had a leg to stand on at some point. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I'm kind of a child in a great big body. But is there somebody else coming in here late? Yvonne, principal's office right now. Tardy. You know what, Sherry? I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure we're all the same. We're all children. We are all completely just childlike. Yeah. So yeah, everybody has to realize that we're never going to grow up. I think when I grow up, I'll probably die. I don't think I can pull it off. I think if I grow up, I'm gonna die because I can't do it. I have got to stay a child. And it's like, I remember somebody telling me one time there's like no difference between men and boys except for the price of toys. But that's so real because I really don't. I'm a big baby. Like, I really, honestly, the only thing that I do ever is I lift heavy stuff and I shoot guns. And other than that, I'm a child. I mean, I'm going to admit right now, when she says things like, how do you not find your uniform when it's literally laying right there? And then I'm like, no, it's not. It's not, because I just looked. And then she goes, there it is. Now, I don't know how she done it. It's got to be some kind of magic to be able to say, yeah, because that wasn't there 2 minutes ago. I know. Okay. Just saying. Yeah, it's overrated. I don't want to get older. I've had enough. Honestly, age really doesn't bother me. Age doesn't bother me as long as my mentality stays the same, and God always allows me to do that. So, yeah. And I mean, everybody has bad days, and especially the holidays are really trying, and that's just how things go. Lisa. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you people are crazy. You all crazy. But no, it's like which, I mean, it's funny because like our kids, like, they know I'm a dork. And yeah, that voodoo that you do so well, yeah, somehow. I don't know. And like, and it's like amazing too how she's able to like get so much stuff done. Like, how the hell she do that? It's like, wait a minute. I've been gone to work and I come back and the house is completely different. And I'll usually get a picture somewhere in the middle. Anybody else do that? Anybody else's wife does that, or any wives out there you do this with your husbands? Like they go to work and you're like, oh, by the way, I rearranged your life completely right now. Here, let me shoot you some pictures and let you see what you're coming into. And I come home like, this is not where I used to live. You literally changed everything. You put things places that I don't know. And somehow it keeps changing. And now because you said, oh, I love it this way, don't you? And I know that I'm going to say, yeah, dang right, honey, this is maybe your best. Because it's not going to matter. Because in 13 seconds, she's going to change it all again. And she's going to be burning her $100 candle wax at the same time. True story. There's no replacing that. That's just what's going to happen. Okay? I'm going to have my stuff turned around upside down in different places at least 47 times a week. And then I'm going to come home and I'll be like, oh, hey, honey. Yeah. And then she'll be like, do you notice anything different about the living room? And I'm going, yeah. Well, do you like it? I'm like, yeah. I have no idea what changed. I don't know. Still, I don't know. Hey, PhD, what's up, man? No, man. I'm like, I really don't know. Or like, she put the Christmas tree up, and I swear to God, it was like perfect. Like every little thing was just shaped perfectly. And it's like, wow. And she's like, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, it's freaking awesome. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, what difference does it make? It's a tree. Okay? And it looks freaking great. It's a tree. It's a Christmas tree. The kids like it. Who cares? You're going to move it 13 times before the end of the day anyway. Right? Yeah. True story. So, yeah, that's my life, guys. That's what I do. Okay? And then I go to work and I deal with my other patrolmen that are like my children. And I deal with usually people that don't like me or don't like at all what I have to say anyway. And then I come back again, my house has changed again. And I'll have pictures to tell me what's changed before I get back. Because when I get back, I promise you, she's going to quiz me on it. She's going to ask me what I noticed different. You know what? I give up. Okay, yes. I'm just going to level with you. Hey, I don't know what you've done. I don't know. I know it smells like a certain different cinnamon rainbow twist of fate in here today. And yesterday it smelled like a mocha latte Java jumbo coffee shop something. And then tomorrow it's probably going to smell like a freaking unicorn fart. I don't know, but it's going to be different. And then I'm going, can we get one that smells like gunpowder? There's my marketing. There's my way out right there. I'm going to invent a guy's Scentsy. Okay? And it's literally just going to be called candle wax shit or really expensive candle wax shit that smells like gunpowder. Like burnt gunpowder. I'll make a fortune. Because there'd be dudes all over the place being like, God, I'm just going to put this like in like my man cave and it just smells like burnt gunpowder and regret. There's my first fragrance. Burnt gunpowder and regret. Yeah. And then I'll have another one that's just called Freedom as fuck. And it'll smell like a bald eagle holding an AR-15 with the American flag wrapped around it. I don't even know what it smells like, but it smells like freedom. Anyway. So, well, yes, Okay, listen, Kelly, I'm in love with you, okay? I don't know where else to leave my socks. Isn't it kind of like my job to just kind of leave them random places? Because here's what I do, okay? I don't have a bit of problem whatsoever being a good boy of putting my clothes in the dirty clothes, except for my socks. True story. I cannot sleep in socks, okay? So, yes, PhD, that's the essence of freedom, brother. A bald eagle literally holding a freaking AR-15 with a American flag wrapped around it, and he literally flies down and like attacks communism. Yeah. I think that sounds great. I don't know what that smells like, but that sounds awesome. But anyway, no, I probably don't really help her out that much like I should. And like, I'll leave my socks on the floor. And like, she gets mad at me because like I'll like drop my uniform kind of like at the foot of the bed. And then she's like, is this where it goes? Well, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know where it goes. Even if it did go somewhere, it wouldn't matter because you would rearrange it and it'd be moved 37 times before I even got to put it in the first time. And it would be like a Where's Waldo chasing things down, trying to figure out where to put it anyway. I just have to do it that way. I just have to leave them at the foot of the bed because I'm not getting in the bed with my socks on. And then if I do, I'm going to be miserable and kicking them off in the middle of the night anyway. Okay, so I just vented. My wife's really blessed, isn't she? Well, listen, guys, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys tonight. And I kind of feel like we kind of had a little bit more of a laid back stream. So we're going to get back on topic next time, I promise you. But we went almost 2 hours now. And I better probably get some sleep because here it's like 1 a.m. So I really do appreciate all you guys. I want you guys to know that, you guys are so much support. God bless you all. I like being silly and kidding and cutting up on here and stuff, but ultimately when I say you guys are a blessing to me, I mean that. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the words of encouragement and the kind words and the emails and the everything that you guys do for us is amazing. Thank you. And we're going to get back on it and we're going to keep the thing coming. Remember, this New Year's is a perfect opportunity. It's a perfect opportunity to start fresh, not even with just yourself at all. Don't think about just yourself. Think about it's a perfect opportunity to help somebody else start fresh. Because not everybody's always motivated. Not everybody's not always sees the light at the end of the tunnel, right? But maybe we can show them, right? I don't know. You can try. Always look for the opportunity to do something good for somebody. Look for the opportunity to bless somebody. Look for the opportunity to be somebody's corner man. When fight training and stuff, you really do kind of learn to count on your corner man. And in our gym especially, we would turn around in the cage and literally like face our corner man, not even look at our opponent because we're literally focused. I want to hear what he has to say. And if my coach is hollering something at me, I want to know. Because he's the one encouraging me and leading me in the right way, right? If you have the opportunity to pat somebody on the back, be the corner man, love on them. If you get some wisdom, let them have it. You don't have to be a nosy neighbor. You don't have to be sticking your nose in people's business. So you don't have to be forcing your way on to people. But there's times, there's ways. Pray about it. If you have the opportunity, God will open doors and let you have the opportunity to speak into somebody's life. Bless somebody financially, emotionally, mentally. There's all different kinds of battles, and we always have the opportunity to help somebody, right? Remember, there's always different ways to educate people, no matter what. I use it like guns because I like guns, but you can always help people, teach somebody something new. If sometimes it just takes being a friend to somebody, it takes opening a door for somebody, patting somebody on the back, loving on somebody. There's always opportunities. Look for them. You guys are awesome. You guys are literally my inspiration to keep doing this stuff and to keep going, and we're going to keep it going. 2023 is going to be awesome. God is good, and He's going to continue to bless us, and we're going to grow. We're going to grow the channel, and we're going to grow our community, and we're going to grow a lot of blessings for a lot of really good people, and we're going to help people just because. Why not? Why not? Who cares? I don't want to go around and stick a camera in somebody's face and say, "Oh, look at me, I helped somebody." No, I don't care about that shit. I don't care about anything that anybody has to say about glory, because only glory goes to God, not me. It's not me. But I will certainly serve Him and be his physical hands and feet here for Him to use me if He needs to. And you guys are the same way. And that's why we're all drawn together to do something positive. Remember that. Always stay focused, stay driven, stay positive. There's never too far. There's no down days. There's up days and there's getting up days. So either you're up or get up. Period. There is no take no for an answer, and there is no quit. You can quit? Nah. You ain't got time to quit. We gotta get stuff done. Stay focused, stay driven, stay blessed. Pat each other on the back. Support each other. Encourage each other. And as always, if you train like you fight like you train. See you guys. 2023 is coming. See you.